Ah, good afternoon, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. You may have noticed that how we speak now in Hebrew has changed, and we are currently doing our research that we're going to be displaying to you guys eventually. Why we now speak like this instead of saying Shalom or Shalom. We're going to go through all of this. It's going to be a series as well to help you understand why you should also be pronouncing things the way that it's supposed to be pronounced in this manner, and where every single language came from in terms of the Hebrew language and where it went and things like that, and what is the modern day Hebrew, etc., etc., etc. All right, so we hope that you tune in for those for that series in particular, which goes in depth about what we're going to be, studying and talking about. All right. Now today's topic. Very, very important topic. Jesus. Again. This seems like a week of rest though, to me. As the birth pains increase in frequency and intensity, this is a period of rest. You notice how we had like a big push, and then we get a small break, and then we're going to get a big push again, and then we're going to get a small break, and the breaks are just going to be getting smaller and shorter and smaller and shorter until there will be no breaks, in which you're just going to have to push and push and push until the ultimate destruction happens and the end happens. So, a lot of interesting things happened this week in terms of the government and things like that. We're not going to be able to cover everything, but let's see if we can cover the topics that we wanted to talk about today. So getting into it, let's start with Facebook. So lately, I've been seeing a lot of these videos where these people have been seeing these orbs. And if you can look at the video right now, you're gonna see it says Morrisville, PE Town Watch. We've told you this before, but we used to live in Morrisville. We used to live in Morrisville 2 years ago. We moved out to Morrisville in 2023. February 2023 is when we moved back to Philly. Right? And I've been seeing a lot of Philadelphia videos of this orb, and it's just funny that we're still on the Morrisville, connected to the Morrisville people in terms of this Facebook group, and somebody pushed out this video on February 4th, right? So as you can see, look at that orb. And we've been seeing these videos nationwide. Nationwide. People have been citing these things nationwide around America. I've seen tons of video this week. People are seeing these things. All right.
Have you noticed how they're getting closer and closer and closer?
Right.
They're flying lower and lower.
Right.
Now they're basically on top of the roof, which compared to like videos from like weeks ago or even from years ago when I think one was on top of the White House. The other one, a couple of them were in Iran and in the quote unquote Middle East, but they were up high, like they were flying along with the missiles and stuff. So they were up very, very high at one point. But now
their flight, you can basically see that they're a little bit closer to ground. They're coming down closer and closer every week. You're seeing them closer and closer and closer, and you're having more frequency of sightings of them as well.
like every night.
Every night, somebody is putting out videos of what they're seeing. It's literally like people are just coming home from work and they just like see it, and they probably stop on the side and start just pull out their phone and start recording what they're seeing right now.
It was a couple over at the McDonald's a couple of days ago.
Oh yeah.
It's like four of them together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a guy who, when he said he wanted to go get the McRib. I wonder, hold on, let me see if I can find it on TikTok.
Hey, y'all. Just walking to McDonald's at 12 a.m. at night. Look what we got us right here. We got some of that alien action everybody's been talking about on the news. Look at that right there. I was about to get me a McRib, too. Wait, you think they want a McRib? Hey, y'all want a McRib? Y'all want a McRib? I'll get him a McRib. Would you think I should get him a McRib? All right, y'all stay safe out there, you heard? Hey, y'all.
This is most disconcerting. This is absolutely very, very serious as to what is going on right now. Um, we're noticing this at a frequency, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down. It doesn't seem to be going away. It doesn't seem to be lessening. It seems to actually be increasing at this point in time. It's not slowing down. It's not stopping, and people are just, it's just out there at this point in time. And I know a lot of people, they kind of have anxiety with what's going on with the government and with everything right now, you know. But trust me, you ain't if you're worried now, you're not ready for what is about to come.
Exactly.
Trust me, especially with the Bible, what the Bible says about creatures coming out of the earth and things like that, right? Now let's go to I want to go to this right now in terms of this plane crash, this US jet fighter plane crash right now. And I want you guys to tell me what you think afterwards. Look at this. All right, so you guys see the crash, right? You see how it just dove into the ground like that, right? As if, it definitely crashed with supersonic speed into the ground. That was the same thing with the Philadelphia plane crash last week as well, right? That was the same thing with the Philadelphia plane crash last week. Did you see that? Look again. I want you guys to look at it again. Look at what happened.
And I say smack for a reason because it did get smacked down.
Look at it again. Look at it again. Look at it again. Look at how fast it's going. You see how fast that's going? You see how fast that's going? All right. There's a reason why I'm showing you guys these videos, There's a reason why I'm showing you. Because in a moment, I want to show you something. I spoke about this before, and I'm gonna show you again. That did I just close it by accident? I think I closed it by accident.
Is it right here? I think it's right here.
No, that's not it. That's not it.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I closed it by accident, but I'll find it again. Hopefully, I'll find it again. I'll find it again. All right, so, well, here we go. The reason
This
why I
was the
want you guys to
terrifying
see
moment a
this
plane
video,
crash lands on the road.
the reason why I want you guys to see this video is to show you that unless something hits a plane, that's how the plane is going to come down. Unless something fries everything on that circuit, even the control, what is it called again? The stick that they use to control the plane.
Wow.
Is still going to keep it. You can hold on to the stick, control the rudders. I believe that's what they are, the flaps, and keep the plane leveled. Right? As I told you before, when we were doing a tandem flight, the pilot, he was telling me what happens if the plane loses engines. It don't just nosedive into the ground. It does not nosedive into the ground. What it does in particular is that it levels off and it just starts descending out of the sky. You don't have any, power to push it up or to keep it up or anything like that right now. Right? So basically what's gonna happen is that it's going to you know, calm down, but you still have control over it to kind of control it a little bit and get yourself to safety. And I don't remember what the guy told me, if it was like you have like 10 minutes or 20 minutes to get yourself to find like clear ground to land on. But that's literally what happens. So when you see planes like this Navy plane like this, right? Crashing into the ground like that. You understand what I'm saying? And then you see the Philadelphia one. Let me pull up that again for you. Right? Let me pull up the Philadelphia one again for you. Let's put it over here too as well. Where was it again? No, this one. Right? Right. So let's put these side by side, right? And what you're noticing is
Ooh.
right. That was a US. Oh, you didn't see it. You didn't see me show. Okay, you stepped off for a little bit. Right? What you are noticing is the two similarities with these two right here.
Nosedive.
The nosedive. Nosedives don't happen unless a plane's circuits are fried, number one, or something hit it out of the sky. Now remember, I told you guys about the dream I had where, military planes, military helicopters, planes in general were just dropping out of the sky. Literally dropping out of the sky. And just about a week later after I told you about the dream, again, I'm gonna tell you that, people, I'm not a prophet. I was not sent. I have the gift of prophecy. There's a difference. You may have the gift of prophecy, but that doesn't mean that you're a prophet. That doesn't mean that you're sent. A prophet is sent to the people to warn them about the things to come. Because when prophets come before you, they say, "Thus saith the Lord." Now, when I can't even make heads or tails of my dreams, I can't come to you and say, "Thus saith the Lord." This is what's going to happen. Because guess what? That's going to make me. That's going to make me a liar. So, the only thing I can do is tell you what I see in my dreams. I can only tell you what I see in my dreams. If it comes to pass, it comes to pass. If it doesn't come to pass, it doesn't come to pass. But I cannot put a stamp on it and say, "Yo, this is definitely going to happen. The Lord gave me this dream, etc., etc., etc." No, I cannot say that. I cannot say that. I cannot put my word behind that. I cannot put the Most High's word behind that. You understand? That would make me a false prophet. And that's the last thing I want to be. Because the last thing I want to do is lie on the Most High and get the punishment of false prophets. Many false prophets got punishment. You understand? And their punishment was death. If you look in the story of King Ahab, when you had the prophet that came out and told King Ahab that when you go up against those people, you're going to win the battle. And then you had the prophet Micaiah came to King Ahab and said, "If you go up against them, you're going to die," and stuff. You understand? And he took Micaiah and put him in prison. And listen to the false prophet that told him that he was gonna go up and win against the people. And he went out and he stayed in the back of the battle. And what happened?
He got killed.
He got killed by what?
Okay.
An arrow. And the arrow hit him in the one spot
Where his
armor was not guarding.
Uh-huh.
That's where the arrow hit him. You understand? So we have to understand the responsibility behind saying, "Thus saith the Lord." I'm not into that. I've never been into that. I've never been into saying, "Thus saith the Lord." This is from the Lord. Whatever it is. All I do, people, I only tell you what I see in my dreams. I cannot tell you anything more than that. I cannot tell. I told people many, many times, because I've been having these planes falling from the sky dreams for years. And I've seen people on TikTok tell me that they've been having these dreams for years as well, which only proves the scripture verse that says, in the last days, he will pour his spirit. Right? Right? And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith Yah, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. They shall prophesy. They shall see these things. They shall say, "Man, I don't know why I'm having these dreams, but these are what the dreams are entailing." Being able to prophesy is different from being a prophet, because a prophet has the ability to prophesy, but he also has the authority to prophesy to people and say, "This is what's going to come to pass." He's been given the go ahead to say, "Hey, go and preach this unto my people." And he was given a message as well with that prophecy to tell the people about, if they don't listen, this is what's going to come to pass. And your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. Listen to me, people. You know, as I told you guys, the week before all of this started happening, I told you guys about the dream I had with my wife, with all the military helicopters and military aircrafts and regular aircrafts just dropping out of the sky from, and I said in the dream, say it seems as if they were hit with an EMP pulse. That's another reason why electronics will drop out of the sky if they were hit with EMPs. Electromagnetic pulse. That's what EMP stands for. You understand? And again, I want to show you the videos one more time. The two videos side by side. One more time. We're going to go from the beginning. Watch. Boom. That was really fast. And they're going to slow it down. Boom.
Got smacked down. I think we should stop using the word "it fell down." It got smacked down. That'd be the proper
You
word.
understand? And let's look at this one again. Right? Let's look at this one again. Look at how fast it's going down. When you look at a plane like that, it looks like it was even on fire before it came down, which means that it was definitely either smacked out of the sky or EMP pulse lick it out of the sky, and nobody can tell me different. There's no way. And I've showed you the plane. I've showed you this plane, right? I've shown you this plane. Look, right? This plane lost control and everything else, and he was still able to land safely. Right? And this happened in December 12th, 2024. December 13. December 13. See there? Right there. December 13. You understand? December 13. But that's not even the point. The point I'm trying to make is that that there's something happening in the skies, and we're not being told about what's happening in the skies. You understand? The other day a US carrier hit into an Egyptian. Right? Let's go over to here now. Right? We can close these out. We're gonna close these out. Right? We're gonna close these out. Because there's a lot of stuff we're gonna have to talk about today. Right? U.S. carrier collides with a merchant ship.
News right here. This is a statement that the U.S. Sixth Fleet Public Affairs just put out stating the following. The Nimitz-class aircraft carrier USS Harry S. Truman was involved in a collision with the merchant vessel at approximately 11:46 p.m. local time, February 12th, while operating in the vicinity of Port Said, Egypt in the Mediterranean Sea. The collision did not endanger the Harry S. Truman, as there are no reports of flooding or injuries. The propulsion plants are unaffected and in a safe and stable condition. The incident is under investigation. Moments ago, you might note that the collision happened yesterday. This information just provided to the public. Now, they did say that the collision didn't endanger the ship and no reports of flooding or injuries. At this point in time, it did note more information will be released as it becomes available. Breaking news right here.
The thing about this is this, right? Whenever you get close to any Navy military vessel, they start to spout off warnings from when you're about I guess 300 feet away. If they feel like a collision is going to happen, that when you get closer, I believe they tell you that they will take military action against you the closer you get. When you get closer than that, they start to fire upon you. Now, this is a merchant vessel around Egypt, where, the Egyptian prime minister basically told America no the other day. Right? And I know he met with Trump, but he still told them, no, you're not going to be able to do what you feel like you want to do with Gaza. You understand what I'm saying? So, basically now, this US carrier hit into this cargo ship around Egyptian territory. I think it's more than coincidence that you have a military aircraft like a carrier that basically is a high level Navy vessel, where it will warn people and ships that get too close to it, all of a sudden crashing into a merchant ship around Egypt. Take from that what you will with what I just said. I'm going to say it again. It is more than coincidental when a high class level Navy US military vessel that usually warns any seafaring boat that get too close to it from yards and miles away, it warns them. All of a sudden, it just crashes into something. Was there no warning? These things almost never happen. I haven't heard about, things crashing into military vessels in the longest while, and I could be wrong about that too. But it's more than coincidental that these things are happening. We're gonna move on to what this guy says right here. I think it's very, very important that we listen to what this guy is about to say, because it's going to give you an understanding of how much time we actually have left. And I think it's very important that people pay attention, because when you don't realize what's actually going on, or when you do actually realize what's going on, you're going to have a sense of time, and you're going to have a sense of what you need to do with the time that you have remaining. All right?
The government knows we're running out of soil, but no one's talking about it. We lose about 23 billion tons of topsoil every year. That layer.
We lose about 23 billion topsoil a year. We need topsoil because topsoil is what you use to plant, grow, and whatever it is. And the government knows that we're losing 23 billion worth of topsoil a year. Okay. Listen to what else he's about to say.
Responsible for growing almost all of our food, and once it's gone,
that layer is used to grow almost all of our food. All right. I want you people to understand this,
it's going to be gone for a long time, because as I said, it takes centuries to form. We are doing things like composting and cover cropping, but the damage is done. We have roughly about 60 harvests left if we do nothing. So for just a moment, forget about
60 harvests left. That's an estimation that we have 60 harvests left, if that. I'm honestly thinking that we have less than 60 harvests left in this world right now. Food is about to get scarce. Tariffs is going to make food more expensive. People are not going to be able to afford a lot of things. A lot of markets, a lot of supermarkets, even the big corporate markets are going to go out of business.
About the rising sea levels. Forget about the carbon emissions. This is one of the biggest environmental threats that no one's paying attention to. So what happens when we're on our last harvest? That's the question that no one wants to answer, because with no soil, there's no future. It's actually pretty insane. The government knows we're running.
So what I'm trying to explain to you guys is that we definitely are in the last days, or the last couple of years, if we even have that at this point in time. We just wanted to even tell you something, is that we've been noticing in our home for the past 2 weeks, the floorboards in our home have been shifting. And I don't know if it's from the how it's from probably lateral movement below the house, the ground itself. I can guarantee you that within a month or so, I'm gonna go down into the basement and find a crack in the ground. I can guarantee you that. You understand? But what I'm expressing to you guys, what this guy's trying to tell you, is that basically we're losing soil. We're on the last 60 harvests, and that's his estimation. That's what he believes. I think it's less. And when we're on the last couple of harvests, you know what's gonna happen after that. Okay. Let's get on to this matter now. Okay, now people, let's be honest. If you, as a black person, went into the Oval Office, went into the White House, and spoke to the president like that, I can guarantee you something would have happened to you. Right? Listen to what this boy is going to tell the president of the United States,
to restore democracy.
Did
This
you
may
say?
seem like, well, aren't we in a to restore democracy? To restore democracy.
Yeah, it looked like Trump been done with that boy for a minute, because he just rolled his eyes like it was nothing.
Like he's just like, oh
And
boy.
here he go again. Here he go again. You can tell he been
The
dealing
boy
with him for a
says to
while.
Trump, you're not the president. You need to go away. You're not the president. The only way that little boy could be saying stuff like that at that age is if he heard his parents say
Yep.
that.
No discretion.
No discretion, because children don't have no discretion. That's why you have to slap them and take them outside and spank them. Because literally, really and truly, let me tell you something. I've been to the prime minister's house, not really his house, where the prime minister's office, where we had to give a presentation about gymnastics. I've been to all these municipal places in Jamaica when I was a coach, and the level of respect you had to have your shirt tucked in, you had to stand a certain way, stand at attention, chest out, chins up, something that we teach in gymnastics all the time. America, Jamaica, it don't matter, right? We teach chest out, chins up. You could not dare to speak to the prime minister unless he spoke to you out of turn. And would you have a child that did that? Listen to me. Black people, you know what would I do with the picnic? Would I probably take them out same time, excuse ourselves same time? Say, President, excuse me, take him outside, then probably hear that child getting whooped.
Well, that's the difference between Esau and Jacob. That's just we like oil and water when it comes to that matter.
Man,
That's
it
why their
is
kids is the way they are.
it's quite disrespectful for the child to look down upon a grown man, speak to him in such a manner, and was not corrected by his parent. We're talking about the leader of a country, regardless of if you like the man or dislike the man. A child is not supposed to speak to him like that. No child is supposed to speak to no adult like
Elon
that.
he didn't turn red out of embarrassment or nothing. That makes me feel the exact same way.
He did not. He didn't say like he didn't even.
flush, he
He
didn't-
didn't even grab the boy's hand and pull him away from him or anything like that. You know.
He didn't look at that direction or anything. Like,
My thing is that if the child is getting out of hand, why don't you have a nanny or something come and take the child while you take the press briefing? Because I found that also to be very very disrespectful, where you're speaking to the press and stuff like that, and you have your child right there instead of having the child be excused and taken somewhere where it won't disrupt you, basically giving out, you know, your statements or whatever it is. You have the child interrupting the conversations, talking over you, and you have to talk a little bit louder than the child rather than to tell the child to be quiet or shut up or ask someone to take the child outside.
do you know what this reminds me of? If you guys ever watched the series called The Boys, what's the main character's name? He dresses like Captain America.
Jeez, I'm crying. I know who you're talking about. I can't remember. Like, I watch The Boys every time on them thing. I know what you're talking about.
What's his name? Because I'm going to explain to you what this reminds
King
me
them
of.
man, if I remember.
The Boys, Captain America.
Homelander.
And this reminds me
Of Homelander.
It's like Elon.
Oh, when Homelander took over. Oops, sorry.
This reminds me of Homelander when he took over, but no, the nation didn't know that he took over. But he was going to the politicians and he was reigning rule, giving them orders and stuff. And he had to. They know he's Homelander. He can basically
do anything
he wants to them. But he he basically had rulership over the politicians. You know, they had to do his bidding. This is what this reminds me of. It's like Elon Musk is like a spiritual Homelander or something like that. You know what I mean?
You know what? Let's look at when Homelander took over. Watch this. And that's kind of like even a foretelling to of what they're doing, you know.
This is crazy.
See, look at this. Look. So,
and that is why, as my first official act under Article 1, Section 9 of the Constitution, I am declaring martial law and deputizing hundreds of superheroes nationwide who will report directly to Homelander himself.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Elon.
do you understand? Do you people understand the symbolism of this show right now? Do you people understand the symbolism of the show right now? The man practically just this is what's happening. He spoke more than the president. His child disrespected the president. He showed no remorse for his child disrespecting the president. He's not an elected official in any way, shape, or form. He came out of nowhere. He has control of practically everything that the president has handed him control of. He probably has more control than that. I bet if he says to the president, I need control of this, the president will write a executive order and give him control of that. And that's what we're literally seeing right now.
With the Department of Education and all the other departments in the government. All the federal departments. Wait, keep playing it. Keep playing it.
She's a great American and a dear, dear friend. Murdered in cold blood by deep state starlighters embedded in our own government.
All this stuff is going on in the background we don't even know about. Like, it's deeper than just like him trying to grandstand. He knows exactly what he's doing. And it's a reason why the president, the quote unquote president of the United States, didn't do anything, didn't signal for the boy to be taken out because
That's what I'm saying.
he knows he can't do anything. He knows his hands are tied. What is it called? The president he's like a spokesperson almost.
He's
He
just
don't
a
got no
face.
power.
He's just a face. He's a puppet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's just a face. So Elon Musk is the person with all the power at this point in time.
Homelander.
And I don't believe President Trump is really and truly in control of what's going on. And we're seeing a lot of wild stuff. Can you believe that there are literally black men that are praising Donald Trump now for what is going on worldwide, thinking that America is doing its best to flex its muscles, and people are literally telling America this is not going to happen. We're not bowing down or anything like that. And these black men are literally sitting down and praising the demise of America, because that's literally what's happening right now. America is not on a slow decline right now. It's on a rapid fast track to its decline. And everybody worldwide is telling America that this is what we're doing to you right now. While you're flexing your muscles and you're telling everybody you're gonna do military here, you're gonna do it, or else this, do it, and like people are just telling America you can flex your muscles all you want. You're bluffing. We don't believe you. And you have black men that are literally, and it really disturbs me. You have black men that are literally worshiping Donald Trump, worshiping a political leader, instead of the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. I wouldn't even say King of Kings. I would say, or Lord of Lords. I'd say the Most High. You understand? You have literally black men praising Donald Trump right now. Praising Donald Trump right now. As if there's not a target still on your back as a black man. Has any rules, laws, and regulations been changed for you yet, black man? Has it? You seem to be praising all this stuff happening to everybody else, but forget that you're still in their crosshairs. And you're not prepared for what is to come because you believe that there's nothing coming for you. And that is the most foolish thing that I have been seeing lately. That you have a bunch of black men, educated, pompous, and arrogant, thinking that there's nothing coming for them. That there's no boogeyman coming after them since Donald Trump got into office. Are you really and truly that stupid? You have to be. You have to be that stupid to think that. Right? So, this is Elon Musk's son telling the man, right? Look at this.
Prices from one year to the next are the same, and they're.
This little boy looks at the president of the United States and tells the man to shush your mouths. When you can go into the White House, into the office of the president, the man who is the leader of a great country of the world, one of the greatest countries in the world, are known as the greatest country in the world, and tell the leader of that country to shush your mouth and have no repercussions for that
At all.
All that tells me about what's going on. I mean, if the man did even just like I said before, when you're giving out statements and stuff like that, you put your child to the side and you deal with business. You tell the child to sit down in a corner. You don't have your child walking around. You have your child on the top of your head and all those things like that. It shows us the level of integrity and the level of disrespect that you have for the American people. You understand? I can guarantee you there's no Jamaican, it don't matter how wealthy they are, that's going to step into the office of the Prime Minister like that. Step in casual clothes. Talking over the president, having their child disrespect. There's no child in freaking Jamaica going into the Prime Minister's office like that. Your parents will 100 times run you over the scenario about keeping quiet, shutting your mouth. Don't do anything unnecessary or else I'll pull you out. And parents will have nannies and all that stuff. He's wealthy. Why doesn't he have a nanny watching the child? And then when the child gets out of hand, send the child to the nanny and let the nanny take him somewhere, take him to the cafeteria or the lunchroom or somewhere, sit his butt down and eat something.
That's a crazy.
This is it's very very crazy. He tells him to I want you to shush your mouth.
You know, the whole world is laughing at us. The whole entire world. If you go on, like I said at the last podcast, you have to go on
The other like
the other countries' news website
and see what they're saying about the
but you
US.
can't see a thing. Even if you Google in certain things that you will see on TikTok, is not there. You have to go specifically on whatever country's website that's talked about. You have to go on their websites to actually get the information because it's not there.
You understand? I mean, Canada has basically started taking in refugees. Mexico has started to deport US citizens as a backlash, as a repercussion to what has been done to their people. Coming home in chains. I mean, although I believe Mexico might do it a little bit more dignified than the United States right now. You understand? So what was I saying? I was saying Mexico might do it a little bit more dignified than the United States have been doing it to other people. You understand? Like what kind of countries like they're not even sending home criminals that like say people who have basically done like hard drugs or guns or gun runners and things like that. If you want to send those people home in chains, definitely they deserve it.
With the everyday working.
But everyday working people who, you say, oh, they're illegal. And it, like I said before, it's quite disheartening to see a lot of, black Americans behave in such a manner of disrespect towards other people for no reason at all. You understand? And I'm not saying, and I'm going to say it again, black Americans have experienced a lot of disrespect at the hands of so many of these ethnicities.
And everybody's starting to realize it now. Like I said before in the last podcast, Issachar's starting to wake up to the reality of Esau.
Of siding with Esau, and of trying to pretend like you're Esau too as well.
And not only that, they had this thing in their head like Esau, it's okay, it's just black people because they come over here, they see the way that most of us live, and quote unquote how he acts, and then they think that we're like this because of our own doing. And Esau is this like nice man that.
Yeah, you know what? Again, let me go through that again with Jamaicans because the same thing is that we have so much of this American media that tells you about how white relationships are, how white people are, they have picket fences, they say hi, they say good morning, good evening, and good night, and that it makes it look like all these racist people are in the minority when they are not in the minority. And their voices are not in the minority either. And with all of this media propaganda pushed on everybody else, especially black people, to keep, and I think that it's done strategically to prevent you from coming and uniting with your black brothers and sisters here in America. You understand? And I tell Jamaican people about it all the time. You understand? Many of us come here and we come here with this mindset, and even our own Jamaican people tell us, don't hang out with black people. Black people get themselves into trouble. Them run drugs, them run gun, them do this, them do that. You don't want to get deported. You don't want to go back to Jamaica. Shamefully, stuff like that. Stay away from them. They're just gonna get you into trouble. And then now you find out that black people are all you can trust while you're here in America. That you can't trust white people. No matter how much you as a Jamaican try to hang out with them and stuff like that, even when you get the chances to hang out with them, you find out that you have nothing in common with them. and that you're just a novelty to them. You see them underhanded disrespects and stuff like that, and then you're like, no, none of us are like that and stuff like that.
Yeah, do you actually hang around us and realize we're chill?
Right.
We're chill.
Right.
You're forced to be in these areas with us, or like, we're at a party together and you realize we're just all just chill. You know what I mean? Or you have to start. You're in proximity of us by working with us. You realize that we're chill. We're not
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's like, oh, we all lied. But everybody, the world is seeing Esau's true colors right now. And this is the Bible verse I was talking about earlier, right? Isaiah 47. I don't know if you want to pull it up. Isaiah 47,
Verse
1 through 3.
So let's look at that. Isaiah 47.
And if you thought that video we did yesterday about the mom.
Devices for
I'm sorry, that is funny every time I see it. That's the running joke in the black community. That be our kids. It better not be our kids.
Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
The land of opportunity, the home, land of opportunity, home of the brave. You can come and make a life for yourself. America's so nice. White tea is so nice. That women that never hurt you. You black people are crazy. What's wrong with you? I better say I work for Mr. John 20 years. He has been nice. His family been nothing but nice to me. You black people so loud
and lazy and don't want to work.
Mr. John
and blah 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 blah
he
blah.
paid me on time.
And the thing about it is that, when we even do that, we completely have forgotten about what happened. Slavery in general. We forgot about Jim Crow. It's just like we're living in the moment. This is why I think a lot of black people need to go back to the roots of the conversation, because when immigrants come here to America, black immigrants I'm talking specifically about black immigrants. I don't want to talk about any other ethnicity at this point in time. The main thing that the black immigrants are coming on is the information that they have today. They don't care about the information of before that. So when they come here, what they're seeing is that, even though they know that there's probably black people that work really hard, because they're around white people a lot. This is their country, whatever it is, whatever, I don't care. They're basically going to develop the mindset that, what everybody's saying is true, because I don't see any black people working where I work. Not knowing that the reason why you're not seeing much black people where you work is because of discrimination. They don't want no black Americans there. You understand? They want you as an immigrant because them can use and abuse you, and you're not going to pick up on the use and abuse until it's probably too late. And by the time you pick up on it, you're probably already through the door. A black man and a black woman now will pick up on it from week 1 or even day 1. Them go in the office, and then pick up the vibe and them say, I know what it is. I am not coming back tomorrow. Or them going to decide to deal with it until they can do better, and then them gone after they can do better.
But they never trust them.
They never trust them.
So,
like I said before, I've been with a lot of I hanged out a lot with white people, and the thing about this is that there was nothing like educational to talk about with them, because all they would talk about, because it got to a point where it was really and truly annoying, where we couldn't even talk about American culture or even proper politics, or what could this do, that do, engineering, anything. All they wanted to do was rag on black people. Talk about how black Americans are lazy. Oh, but not you though. You work a lot. You're different. You're one of the good ones. And I heard that so many times till I said, this just like, I hate this buttering up conversation. This falsehood, this novelty. Because as I've said before, people, novelty wears off. And when novelty wears off, you see their true colors. You see their true colors when novelty wears off.
It's all fine and dandy when they're going to your countries and vacationing and giving y'all a lot of tips and stuff like that. But when they come over,
Some of them come over there broke. Some of you white. Let me tell you something. A lot of white Americans when they come to Jamaica, they're broke. They're broke. Don't have no freaking money. Them riding off of credit cards. Can't tip nobody. You're broke. Most of them are broke. Can't afford. Like most times are all inclusive. If you don't know what an all inclusive hotel is, an all inclusive hotel is basically you get your drinks and your food for free. $100 a night. And even I as a Jamaican was able to afford 5 days of paying for that. And Jamaica's dollar has slipped really bad to the American dollar, and I was able to afford that at one point, and it was $100 a night at that point in time, right? I can't just imagine what they're charging American people, and most of them that come there, you guys are broke and thing, and we can tell. By the way, Jamaican people don't tell you this now, but we can tell when you're broke as a tourist. We can tell. We don't even ask a certain question. We just look at how you behave. And we listen to certain conversations that you have. And we can tell. We don't even have to ask you for a tip. We just know that you're not going to be able to afford a tip. And if you give a tip, it's going to be like $1, $2. Where you think $1 or $2 can do nothing for us. $20 can't even do nothing in Jamaica. That's nothing in Jamaica. $50 is nothing in Jamaica. Maybe $100 might be something in Jamaica, but nothing below that is anything in Jamaica. You understand? So a lot of these people, they're basically broke when they go to Jamaica. They're not no rich people. A lot of Jamaicans don't see white Americans as rich. Maybe many see you as like pawns to as the word would say, like use you for certain things, but we don't see you as wealthy. We know that you're probably at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to your people when you're coming down to Jamaica. You know what I mean? So let me finish this. Take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers.
shame. You gotta think, and you even gotta think about this, right? Uncovering thy locks. Back then, I know we were so desensitized to
Seeing flesh.
to seeing flesh, to seeing hairs. Most of our women had covered up their hairs, especially when they were married. Even read, I forgot what Bible verse in Genesis, right? Rebecca, when she saw her husband to be, she went and covered up her head. It's a sign of respect and humility. It was only certain things your husband was supposed to see back then, right? It's when you're outside among men, you would cover up yourself. Modesty is just not from the neck down, it's from the head up. I mean, from the head down, right?
Absolutely.
Making bare your leg. Your leg is your calf, right? Uncover your thigh. You really getting naked now. That's embarrassing. Like they used to do to us in slavery, making us be naked. Make bare your leg, uncover your thigh, and you're gonna pass through that river. Everybody gonna see you ain't tender and delicate. America.
Because you see too in Jamaica too, when if you're a woman or even a man, if you're crossing a river, you have to lift up so you don't get your clothes wet. See, they just like lift it up and stuff like that. But it's saying that way that basically you have to rough times are coming.
You're gonna see everything about America.
You're gonna see everything because it's gonna unbear itself right now. There's no it's gonna come to a point where it's not gonna have any shame in terms of begging. You understand? We just said it. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. We just said that. I will take vengeance, I will not meet thee as a man. I don't know if you people understand what that last statement was, but let me read it for you again and then I'm going to explain it. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man. Basically, God is not going to answer you as a man. He's going to answer you as a eternal being, punishing a mortal being. He's going to push his hand down in your face that you can't resist, that you can't handle at this point in time.
They act like they're so posture
Oh.
the standard for life. You know how you saw it come out there next saying, "Oh, I didn't know you guys have that over there. I didn't know you have this over here." Saying little slick stuff out
That's
there.
yeah, that's what I said. But Black Americans will understand it, but Jamaican people will not understand until like couple like sometimes you see, like I said before, the media has fooled us and brainwashed us into believing white is right and black is wrong. So when they said, remember I used to tell you say how they say certain things to me, and even when like this guy was like saying that um certain things about a vehicle, I was like, no, we have like more advanced vehicles than this vehicle back home. Like this is nothing. You understand? They say certain things out of the side of their necks in arrogance, in thinking that America is so called, so brand new, so rich, so wealthy, so this, so that every other country, even if you're coming from a third world country, there are certain things that you've never experienced. Oh please, come on, man.
Just like the whole like Africa, they always show the Canaanites, right? Like impoverished, drinking out of a little pipe or drinking out of dirty water, and then you look further. That's why I forgot the content creator's name. She literally walked around Kenya and
In the,
showed
the
all the
wealthy parts of Kenya and talked about.
with a plate. Remember, she had a dinner plate and a fork in her hand, and she stood next to the KFC, next to the other stores. Like we have that here. We're not looking out. We're not scrounging for food.
Why do you think worldwide Jamaica has the best KFC? You think it? You think it's people literally looking at us as if we're not civilized people, as if we're probably eating off the street and stuff like. As a matter of fact, too, that's even a better vibe than certain things you guys have here. Sitting down in the bushes and cooking and chilling with people is a better vibe than sitting in your ratted. And I can guarantee you, when you go to Jamaica and you just say, "Yo, come we go run a boat in the bushes," you're gonna have a better vibe than sitting in your house. Can guarantee you that. Jamaicans like to be outside of their house. They love to be outside their house. You understand what I'm saying? So we're gonna move on now from there and to Trump's threat to Hamas, where by 12 o'clock it's now 1:26 p.m.
Oh.
So you can look on the news and see if anything happens.
Tomorrow at 12 o'clock. It was up to me. I'd take a very
I'll
hard
be waiting
stance.
for
I
you
can't
at
tell you
12
what Israel's going to do. I don't know what's going
So as you know, Hamas has said that basically they're not turning over the last remaining hostages because Israel has basically, violated the ceasefire agreements by they're still attacking places and stuff like that. So they said basically because that's happening, we're not turning over nothing. We're not turning over anybody. So Trump has basically threatened them and said, listen, if you don't let them go by 12 o'clock today.
But they have one. I remember them saying yesterday they're gonna let go of 3, but they kept one. And he said let them all go. He said not trickle. He said let them all go.
So they threatened them and said basically if they don't let them go by 12 o'clock today, which is past, they're gonna be like allowing Israel to raise down hell on them and stuff like that. So seems as if they're releasing some hostages still.
They got one left.
Yeah, they're holding on to one because I believe that they know that once they release the last hostage, Israel is gonna turn around and still come down on them. You know what I mean? Again, this is where we are. Matthew 24, verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation. Yeah, that's the baby. And kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. We are literally seeing all of this right now. We're literally seeing all of this right now. Like everybody on every land, they're going against each other. And these lands are actually even going against each other as well. So within America, within Canada, within all the major nations, you have nation against nation, ethnicity against ethnicity. And then now within these kingdoms, right, they're going against other kingdoms again. Canada against the US, US against Mexico, Mexico against the US. You understand what I'm saying? US against this place, US against that place. Just one big question. It's one big question, right? Does the US think it has military to stretch all over the place? And that's the problem that I think a lot of Americans are not really and truly thinking about is the US military wise does not have the numbers to stretch all over the places that it's been making threats towards. You understand? And so because of that, no, that's gonna cause a major downfall. You see, that's what I'm saying. That's why when a lot of people basically saying, hey, stop all this flexing in your muscles. You're not getting anywhere with the flexing in the muscles because we're just not going to be listening to you. It's because they know, and with common sense, they know that the US does not have the numbers to basically stretch out everywhere. With it being afraid of, stuff happening on its own land right now, the US is not gonna basically just like go to war with a lot of stuff.
We even the president talking to the Prince of Jordan the other day. The Prince of Jordan didn't want to agree to anything. He agreed to taking, I think, 5,000 sick children.
But he's not doing anything else.
He's not taking in the Palestinian people.
The thing about it is that though, if the children go in, the mothers definitely have to go in too.
Exactly. That's only 5, and I think it's 2 million Palestinians over there. Gaza, so that's not nothing.
And I think he said only 40,000 children he's taking. So where the rest of them gonna go? The thing about it is that the Palestinians, they also want to stay on the land and they want to rebuild by themselves and stuff like that. It is not up to anybody. They can refuse aid in a certain way. If you say to somebody that I'm willing to help you, and they say, okay, can you basically get this from my house and get that for your house, and they look at you and tell us, no, this is the way that I want to help you, then they have the right to refuse that help because they asked you for help in a certain way and you chose to help another way. You understand? So you don't have the authority to tell anybody, well, you're gonna move out to this place and I'm going to take it over and rebuild it for you. You understand? Because I'm going to guarantee you that these people are going to fight for their land. Like every man and woman and little boy, little girl, if they have a pew pew, they're going to pick it up and fight. Because they're going to literally say, this is the last straw. They're going to say, this is the last straw. They're going to say to themselves, if they have to die upon the land, they might as well go with a bang.
Die a soldier. So even like with the tariffs, though, the reciprocal tariffs, he just fine. Like it's gonna be crazy.
So yeah, well, we already know what with the tariffs now. The tariffs are going to go into place in a couple of weeks. Things are already rising. Things are getting out of hand. We already went through that. The horses are getting ready to ride if they're not already riding. And what I've said before is that when the horses are riding, it's never spoken about if things are just immediately going to like blow up or if it's going to be a gradual thing. But it's definitely showing that it's going to be gradual. And then it might explode after a while. You understand what I'm saying? Revelation 2:21-8. This came to me this week because so many things came over my mind, my heart, my body, and my spirit because of what we're going through. I know everybody's going through something very, very tough right now, but I want to encourage you guys to not become fearful and to trust in the Most High to take care of your needs. And that's also what we're gonna have left with, because our main trust should be in the Most High and not ourselves anyway. Revelations 21:8. But the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and the murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. The first part I want you to basically understand: the fearful. The fearful. When the time comes, you cannot be fearful. You have to go step out, you have to go pick up your sword, you have to go fight. None of this whole thing about, being afraid to die, none of this fearful thing about what's going to happen to you and your family. When the time come and the Most High said pick up your sword, you have to go pick up your sword. And even before that, you can't be preaching this ministry and be so fearful. You can't be preaching this ministry and being so fearful. You have to basically be courageous. You have to lack the fear. You have to trust in the Most High to take care of you. And that no matter what happens, He's gonna handle it. The Most High did not take us this far to let go of you and let you go on it by your own. No, He's not gonna do that to you. That would be something foolish, and that would be something evil of the Most High to do to you, to take you this far in life and then just to let you go and make you fail. You understand? That's not what the Most High is about right now. The Most High is gonna bring you to it and right through it too. But you have work to do. You can't sit down and be anxious and afraid about what's going on. No, you're supposed to be prepping, you're supposed to be getting ready, and you have to be fearless as well. You have to have courage and get ready to fight when the time comes. Because the time will come. Alright? Acts 2:17. And it shall come to pass in the last days, I will pour out. Oh, I already wrote that. So,
Mm.
yeah, you have anything you want to say?
Deliverers.
Luke.
It's not. I don't know if it's Luke or not. So, don't be afraid going to give you up to the governors and the council. I will tell you what to say.
You will be delivered up. This is what you're talking about. Matthew 10:19-21.
Mm-hmm.
But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. For it is not yet that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. Because there's a time coming, people, and I'm sure a lot of us can see it coming, where when the fall of the government happens, with whatever food that's left, this is what's going to happen. A lot of treachery is going to take place. A lot of treachery is going to take place, in which you're going to have to betray your very blood or your closest friends. It's going to happen. But the Most High is letting you know, do not be fearful for the time when even Hebrews, this thing is coming for us. They're coming for us. They're getting ready to make it. They're getting ready to make it a law, to be illegal to preach as that we are the Hebrews. They're going to make it a law to lock us up, bring us before the court, etc.
And to have anti-Christian biases.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say Christian, you already know what we mean.
White people.
Mm-hmm. The Jesus, their God.
Mm-hmm.
The Malachi God.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Canaanite God. Scripture says, but when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak. For it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. So when the time comes, it won't be you speaking. It will be the Most High speaking. You understand? Him going to give you what to say to these people. As a matter of fact, I can guarantee you, he's going to be giving them a warning. So you're going to be speaking warnings to them. You're not going to care about what they're sentencing you to, whether them sentencing you to death by chopping your head off or stuff like that. You're going to be warning them, warning them, warning them. Every single day you're going to be in that jail cell, warning them, warning them, warning them, telling them that them time is coming and stuff like that. And they're not going to care. Why? Because they're going to be in power.
Everything of dust.
I sit a widow and again, let me pull up the scripture verse again, man. Every week we must pull up the scripture verse. I sit a queen and I'm no widow. Alright, let's go to KJV. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. Give her that much torment and sorrow, for she says in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow and shall see no sorrow. So when that time comes and they have that power literally over us to do it again as they please, as they have done in the past, this is going to be their behavior. And many of these so-called allies are also going to turn on us, because they're going to want to be a part of that and don't see no end to it. They don't want to sit there. They're going to be afraid about losing their lives. They're going to become cowards. This is why it says the cowards and the unbelieving are going to die. But the fearful and unbelieving and abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. Yeah, the time is coming. You have to prepare yourself mentally for what is to come. Don't sit down on your backside and basically think say, yo, God, just go and whisk you away like these dumb Christians waiting for some sort of rapture. We're going to fight our way out and fight our way to the wilderness. We're going to fight our way to the gathering. And it is only when we are gathered is when we're going to be protected. That's the only time we're going to be protected. But while we're getting to the gathering, we're going to have to fight our way through. And a lot of us are not going to make it. I might not make it. My wife might not make it. Our children might not make it. You understand? And then you have to even deal with the fact that somebody out of your own family might just like pass away. One of our kids might not make it. All the kids might not make it, but we might have made it. I might not make it, but my wife and children might make it. The kids and I pass away, but only my wife make it. These are scenarios that you're going to have to deal with. It's a severe scenario. You must get yourself mentally ready for the time that is coming. Because the time is coming when you're going to have to fight yourself out tooth and nail. No amount of bullets going to help you sometimes. You're going to run out. A lot of people are in training. Yes, that's good. Train. But you will run out of ammunition. And then what then? You're going to have to throw the thing away. You can't keep it with you hoping that you're going to find ammunition somewhere. Mm-hmm. You have to throw it because it's going to be dead weight. You're going to literally having people that are starving trying to eat your children. Mm-hmm.
Remember, it's nothing new under the sun. What did they do in the Old Testament? Remember, we talked about this last podcast.
They ate kids during slavery. They ate kids during Jim Crow. It is not uncommon for them to eat our children.
Or even we ate our children during the time of famine.
Mm-hmm. And we ate our children during the time of famine.
What was it, Solomon? The two women, one ate the son. They ate. Mm-hmm. You remember the story?
Mm-hmm. I do. They brought it before the king. It's not, I don't believe it's Solomon. We can talk about it right now. Yeah, here we go. Second Kings.
It's the time of famine.
Second Kings. See? Second Kings 24 to 30. Let me pull it up.
This stuff is gonna be happening for real.
Mm-hmm.
Like we always read the Bible, especially when we're Christians, from this lens of, oh, that's just the past. You know, this all these are life.
We're more civilized now.
We're just life
624.
lessons. This is just a lesson to learn from. Never, a mother's love. No, this is a foretelling of what's going to happen. Christianity has desensitized the hell out of all of us, unfortunately.
And it came to pass after this that Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his host and went up and besieged Samaria. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 80. What is a score?
A piece of
12.
Yeah.
What is 4 times 12? 48. All right, 48 pieces of silver. And the fourth part of a cab of doves, dung for 5 pieces of silver. Dung, dung.
Wait, pause. What?
And the fourth part of a cab of doves, dung. The bird shit. All right, for 5 pieces of silver for shit. For each shit, to eat people's shit, it's going to be 5 pieces of silver. And as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, Help me, my lord, O king. And he said, If the Lord do not help thee, whence shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor or out of the winepress?
Damn.
Him say him can't help. And the king said unto her, what aileth thee? And she answered, This woman said unto me, Give thy son, that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, Give thy son, that we may eat him. And she hath hid her son. And it came to pass, when the king heard the words of the woman, that he rent his clothes, and he passed by upon the wall. And the people looked, and behold, he had sackcloth within upon his flesh, because he saw the low estate of his people. He saw the low estate of his people. I don't believe that those who don't believe are going to get back to that state. Those who believe are going to be working together, but we're going to make it by the skin of our teeth. We're going probably a lot of us going to go in with malnutrition by the time we reach the wilderness. You understand? A lot of us are going to go in by malnutrition, but we're not going to be eating our own or nothing like that. But I do believe that, because you see, the reason why I said is that because you see the selfishness between black men and black women nowadays, it is not going to surprise me when you see these people eating children. It's not going to surprise me. We are so selfish at this point in time. We're so arrogant and pompous and puffed up right now at this point in time that it is not going to surprise me when I see black men and black women eating children and cannibalizing on children. It's not going to surprise me when I see white people eating black children, because they've always done it anyway. They did it during slavery, they did it during Jim Crow. You understand? So it would not surprise me to see it. And this is going to be a low, you see, like I said before, you're going to have many people eating out of garbage cans. You're going to have many people chasing after garbage trucks. You understand? You're going to have people basically going in your backyard and probably going to eat the dirt on the ground or the grass. People will eat the crumbs off your plate. That is the state that it's going to get to in a couple of months, if not a year or two.
They're not acclimating to fasting.
Yeah, when you don't fast, you don't know that you can't that you don't have to eat all the time. Even when you're hungry, you don't have to eat, because the hunger will go away if you just don't pay any. If you just like let it be.
Because you can even look this up, guys, when y'all got time. You can live 3 days without water, but you can live 3 weeks without food.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
So,
The thing
but
about it is that you see, after even the first 3 days of the fast, your hunger actually goes away, and then the fat inside your body
that's
starts
how
to get
it
eaten.
starts to happen, yeah.
It starts to eat the fat within your body, so you don't feel hungry anymore. It's the first 3 days of a fast is always the roughest and the hardest 3 days of
And
the
then you can
fast.
actually get more brain clarity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You get more brain clarity. Your energy comes back.
Mm-hmm.
You can run up and down. I'm guaranteed because I've done it.
Mm-hmm.
We've done weekly fast, like a whole week of fasting, 7 days. By the time after the third day is done, the third day is the most dangerous day. The third day will have you like begging the Most High to keep you from trying to eat. Once that third day is over, once you've gotten over that hurdle, that's the biggest hurdle.
Even like the
It just
first,
seems normal.
like the first day, you're hungry, but it's
Yeah,
not like
it's not affecting
you're
you.
having cravings. The second day, you start to get the blood sugar drops and stuff.
Dizziness, all of that stuff.
Third day, you really going through it.
Yep. It's like a withdrawal syndrome on the third day. It's like you're basically like you're walking around, you're pacing the ground, you're opening the fridge, you're doing your best to stay away. Yeah, no, it's serious, man. It's very, very serious. You have to learn to fast. You have to learn to do without food for a couple of days, like, even a week. Learn to do without food for a week.
And learn eating one meal a day.
Yes.
That's what helps out a lot. Get used to eating only one meal a day and just living off of water.
Get used to eating one meal a day.
I would suggest this, Israel. Most of us grew up not having adequate food in the house.
Right, and we had to eat one meal a day
And we got
anyway.
used to it, right? We would act like we are children again. This is what's going to save us. You better act like you're a child living in your mama house again.
Where there was not much and you had to only eat one meal a day. I agree 100%. I agree 100% that we need to go back to the times of just eating one meal a day. You understand? We're trying that again. We're only eating one meal a day at night only. That's it. You understand what I'm saying? You have to get back to that because and by the way, scripture says that it's not going to be only a famine of food, but it's also going to be a famine of the word. That means that we are not going to be here. And people are not going to have the strength to be preaching when they're going to have to be hunting and stuff like that. And watching out for somebody who gonna break into them house and try to steal their meals and stuff like that.
And that it's gonna come, like I said the last podcast, it's gonna come a point where you're not gonna see them Hebrews on the corner on the Shabbat. You're not gonna see them at certain events, like it's a baseball game coming. Them Bruisers are gonna be there at that baseball game. Outside of the baseball game, spreading the word. Just you're gonna look around. You're not gonna see no purple and gold. You're not gonna see no. You're not gonna see anybody. You're not gonna see no more Sons of Thunder, no more HOI,
No,
more
IUIC,
no
ISUPK, nothing.
And you're gonna wonder where these brothers went. Did they quit? No, they ain't quit.
And then you're going to say to yourself, so I remember before that even happened, you're gonna be like, I remember these guys were like saying that this was gonna happen and stuff like that.
Where they at?
Where they at now? And you're not gonna be able to find none of them. You're not gonna be able to find even just regular people like me and my wife.
And then people are gonna be running into these worship centers.
Yeah, worship centers. They're not called churches anymore. They're called worship centers.
University worship centers and stuff. Looking for words, and the pastor ain't gonna have no words.
Pastor gonna say, neighbor, this is your year. Neighbor, touch your neighbor, touch your neighbor. Touch them. Touch them.
Touch what? Touch my belly touching my back right now, and I'm hungry. That's why I'm touching.
God is gonna provide you some food.
You just gotta give us the last of your
Give us the last of your money and your pennies and your food, and I promise you, God will multiply.
Watch the change we won't come. It's gonna come to that, and it's like, do you remember? I think it was the movie.
The way things are going, man, some of them fat passes, you too.
It was a what was the movie? I think Left Behind. What's it? That scene in Left Behind? It was the black pastor. Everybody was coming in. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah. It's not Left Behind, man.
It was another movie that they made.
It was a black movie where the guy, um,
it was like, why
roles and positions and titles.
and they was like, why you ain't get taken up? And you,
It was a young pastor. The old
Yeah.
pastor was gone.
yeah, but even though we don't believe in no rapture, but you can just imagine how it's going to be while we were like trucking
Let me
towards
see.
Jerusalem, and then
I'm trying to find it.
like past the rapture movie.
Let me see. Yeah, it's this.
It was that part.
Yeah,
What's
it was this
what's
part.
the scene? That's the scene.
That's the scene. That's the scene, man.
One day,
Hey, blow it up, blow it up, blow it up.
Jesus is coming. You may be at church. You may be at work. You may be asleep. God grant that you will be ready when he makes his personal appearance.
That pastor.
Yeah.
My God, what if his appearance occurs on a Sunday morning? My prophetic word to you this morning is get ready, get ready.
If Jehovah came back right now, would you make it?
Hell is a real place, and I don't want you to go there.
We've been reporting on the bizarre phenomenon that seems to be taking place not just in this country, but all over the world.
Getting angry at God isn't going to solve anything.
Don't butt dab me, young lady. I done said you can see that boy when we get to church.
This is not the way it's supposed to be.
It's over. We've all been left behind.
Six.
It's going to be joyful for those who are raptured, but it's going to be.
We need to even go through this, but I know that many people, many, other channels have probably gone through it, but the word taken is not what you think it is. If you look at Genesis and see what the word taken was, and then put that word to the word taken now, it means the same thing. All right, I just want to give you that point right now.
Sad for those who are left behind.
Life is over. Life as we know it.
I thought you were getting ready to go to church with me today.
Not today, okay? I'll go with you next Sunday.
Yeah, the man went in the church and said him want to pay the pastor for going to his wife. Was at the end of it. It was at the end of
And
it.
the pastor, everybody was asking the pastor, why you ain't go up? Why you still here?
Yeah, it was a. I think that was a good thing too. So let me let you understand some people. You see, when that time comes, your role, position, title, accomplishments, it's gonna be nothing to people who want to bite your leg off.
Got the barbecue sauce.
They don't care if you're the president. They don't care if you're the ruler or nothing. They don't care how much degrees you have, how much money you have, cause them can't eat money. Them hungry for flesh. At that point in time, nothing on earth is going to matter to people, and it's getting to that point right now. You understand? So let this be a warning that we should all be preparing for the time that is soon coming, because this thing is rapidly moving to that time. All right, so people We're gonna close out the study now. Thank you guys for tuning in. Any last words, Ashley, before
No, that was it.
That was it. That was it. All right, people. Thank you for tuning in. Enough love and respect. Peace. We are out.